Our here at Cleveland Heights head coach Bryce Jones. And Bryce, coming into tonight, this was a big matchup going up against Medina. And then at halftime, you guys took a 20-7 lead going into halftime, and then you ended up with 21 points. And then Medina really climbed back into the game, but a huge moment by your defense by Jariah making that big interception, which set up LaMarques for the touchdown, and then Jariah with another interception, which set you up with a 42-28 win against Medina. But just tell us about how the night went for you guys overall.
I would say we came out, we started fast. We did a good job coming out and started the game on the right note. And then, just seeing guys consistently get the opportunities to make plays. And I think LaMarques did a great job. And they brought a lot of pressure to start off the game, and he was under duress, but he was able to calm himself down, get a couple good throws in to kind of get himself into the rhythm of understanding everything. And you saw him kind of consistently get better throughout the game, which is big for us all the time. We had a couple really big plays by some big players. Elijah Harris on a really big third and long. You had Sir Gibson go down and make some plays, Henry go down and make some plays. So LaMarques does a great job of getting the ball out to those guys and allowing them to go be who they are. And then defensively, we played well. Medina does a lot of stuff, and they're really good at it. Our guys did a good job of staying disciplined once we were able to calm them down. But I'm happy for them, proud of the way that we finished out the game. Would love for us to come out and start some things a little bit faster, but things to learn from and things to grow from as we go.
Yeah, it felt like a fast start for your defense with Dion with that interception. How awesome was it for your defense to start off with that interception to start the game off?
As much it was awesome for the team, but I love that for the kid, for Dion. Dion is one of those kids that he doesn't say much, but he plays almost every snap of defense, every snap of offense, and every special team he's on. And he never says a word, never complains. He never says it's too much for him. Never asked to come out. We kind of more than had to pull him out the game, but to see his hard work finally be rewarded with a play like that, it was a big week for him. And to see that for him, I'm so proud of him, and it got our defense off to a great start.
Yeah, Jariah Moore, he had a touchdown and two big interceptions in the fourth quarter. Talk about how two of those big interceptions by Jariah really set you up with the game.
Big time plays make big time plays. You ask for guys to show up when you need them most, and Jariah is one of those guys. From the time he came in, has been a guy that we have relied on in big time situations. Whether that's at receiver, at safety, wherever he is, he's a ball hawk. He's a great kid who you'd love to see really good things happen to. He just got a club off of his hand where he dropped like 2 or 3 picks, and so to see him come this week and make those plays, man, I'm super proud of him. But I'm proud of the way that our defense stuck together in regards to finishing that game off the right way.
And then lastly, your quarterback, LaMarques, he had a great night as well. He had 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Talk about how him and the offensive line really produced those 42 points tonight with the victory.
It's a collective effort. As great as LaMarques is, he's nothing without that group, and it's been a lot of moving parts with it. But they continue to work hard and prepare the right way. They're learning and they're getting better weekly. It's crazy to say that in week 7, but that's what we expect. When things are new, when people are new, the process is new. They're continuing to grow, and then watching LaMarques consistently grow and get faith in his receivers and really give them an opportunity to make some plays, and then seeing those guys go make those plays. I mean, it's a collective effort from those guys, really building the chemistry and building those relationships and seeing them move the wheels forward.
All right, here at Cleveland Heights quarterback LaMarques Greenwood. LaMarques, coming into tonight, this was week 7 going up against Medina. And then at halftime, you guys took a 20-7 lead, and then you guys took a 21-point lead. And then Medina kind of climbed their way back into the game, but I felt like your defense was huge with those 2 interceptions by Jariah to really close out the game.
Yeah.
But just kind of talk about how the night went for you guys overall.
We've been struggling on offense the past couple of weeks, and defense helped us out a lot. Defense win games, but we just determine by how much. So we defend our defense every week, and we just go out and put points on the board like we did today.
Yeah, you had a great night. You had 4 passing touchdowns. You had a rushing touchdown. Talk about how the offensive line really helped you try to get those touchdowns.
I love those big guys. We have our ups and downs for sure. That's just with football, though. But it's how we respond to adversity, though. We respond great. This is how we did today.
Yeah, talk about how Jariah made that big interception when Medina was really climbing back to get back into the game. Talk about how big that interception was, and that really set you up for that touchdown.
Yeah, you know, we were up 8, but we believe in our defense so much, they believe in us. So we knew they were going to go to stop, get an interception, something, and it happened.
Yeah, next week you guys got another big matchup going up against you. Good. How can you take this win as motivation going up against the Panthers next week?
We got to keep the momentum, you know. We haven't been doing too good, but the record doesn't define us. You know, we define ourselves, everyone in that locker room. So we got to come out with the momentum.
All right, here at Cleveland Heights, Jariah Moore. Jariah coming into tonight, week 7, going up against Medina, and then you guys took a 20-7 lead going into halftime. Medina climbed their way back when you guys were up 21, and then you had a big interception in that moment, which set up LaMarques for another touchdown, and then you had another interception. You ended up with two. We ended up with 2 interceptions and a touchdown. Just kind of talk about how the night went for you guys overall.
We just continue to stay calm and just play with each other and just have each other back. We've been preparing for this game, coming off a couple of losses, but we just continue to being alive and just work.
Yeah, when Medina was really climbing back into the game, how big of a moment was that for you to make those interceptions in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, it was really big for me because, you know, like big time players make big time plays. So like, it's just continue to stay calm and just do what I do.
Yeah, and LaMarques, he had a great night as well. He had 4 passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown. Talk about how the offense really produced 42 points tonight.
Yeah, they stepped up for sure, but they always do what they do every week. So really, like, we already used to it.
Yeah, next week you guys going up against the Panthers. How big of a win will you use this as motivation going up against the Panthers next week?
Yeah, we just did what we did today and just take that to next week. We just do what we do.